So I don't care what woke DEI come up with to like justify being late. You are still, there's someone at the other end of that equation that is sat there waiting for you. Okay, well I tell you what then. Why don't you go back to your country where you don't have to turn up on time to Why don't you f*** off back there then if you want to do this? Because that's not how we work over here, dude. This was like banging, but I didn't cover it. So I'm going to do it now because I think it's actually going to be a good little second channel segment. Checking in on the latest race science. Why are Latinos always late? And why is it kind of not a bad thing? Right, okay. I'm 50 minutes away, lying. But it's reductive to think that this lateness is a sign of Latinos being innately disrespectful. I'm just around the corner, I'm 50 minutes away. Instead, Latinos in many non-Western traditions are polychronic. What? Polychronic is I've literally never heard of this before. Is this like a thing that I'm just not aware of? I've literally never heard of the term polychronic before. And I'm wondering, am I just an idiot and this is some term that exists and I'm not familiar with it? Or is this one of those new fucking like woke-tard intellectual things they've come up with in some university somewhere? Polychronic. Okay, let's look it up. Polychronic. Okay, where can I find out where the word came from? When was word invented? Okay. Okay. Oh, hang on a sec. Okay, this is an AI overview. Wait, hang on a sec. Polychronic. Wait. That's not even what it means. Dude, they're totally misrepresenting what it means. It is a term, but this isn't what it's supposed to mean. Look. In the silent language, 1959, Hall coined the term polychronic to describe the ability to attend multiple events simultaneously as opposed to monochronic individuals and cultures who tend to handle events sequentially. That doesn't, I don't think that's the same as cultures that are ones that value interpersonal relationships and multitasking. And then that therefore means that you being late is like actually not that big a deal and it's fine. Well, I don't know what I need to read the book, which I'm never going to do, to find out exactly what it means. But the problem with this as well is you are fundamentally fucking someone over by not being there on time. You're wasting someone else's time, right? So I don't care what fucking woke fucking DEI shit you've come up with to like justify being late. You are still, there's someone at the other end of that equation that is sat there waiting for you when they could have other things to do. They could have stopped something else to come and see you. They've made time for you. Yes. Intellectualizing negative and antisocial behavior. Precisely. Polychronic cultures are ones that value interpersonal relationships and multitasking. Monochronic follow strict schedules and deadlines. Monochronic cultures see time as a line with different intervals for completing tasks or catching up to duties. Doctor's appointment, brunch with friends, drinks with co-workers. This is what many American, German and Swiss folks align with. Lateness is seen as wasting scarce time that exists on a continuum. Okay. However, polychronic cultures see time as a container to be filled. Okay, well, I'll tell you what then. Why don't you go back to your country where you don't have to turn up on time to shit? Why don't you fuck off back there then if you want to do this? Because that's not how we fucking work over here, dude. I mean, what is this, dude? This is ridiculous.
I just got here. What's happening? Hashtag TGIF.
Thank you for the super chats. Yes. They're trying to noble savage being late. The noble polychronic Latino doesn't believe in schedules and turning up on time. Their time is merely a container to be filled. Bro, imagine trying to pull this shit when you don't turn up to work on time. Also, right, there are some things where a schedule is critical. A schedule is crucial. Dude, the doctor thing, for example, right? Think about the doctor thing. Doctors often have a lot of patients that they need to see in a day. So you need to turn up on time to your appointment. And normally this is a bit shit in the UK because you wait for 30 minutes. So the doctor's the one that's fucking polychronic in that situation. But as a general rule of thumb, you turn up for your appointment at the doctor's to fulfill your correct slot so that, you know, you don't interrupt other people's time. And the doctor, I mean, I don't really care about the doctor because the doctor just fucking turns up when they want anyway. But so as not to interfere with other people's schedules. It's kind of like it's like a group effort we make as a society to make sure things function as best as they can, you know? And also, like, work. A place opens at 9 o'clock. There needs to be a certain amount of staff to be there at 9 o'clock in order to facilitate the store opening and business to occur. You've got to turn up on time for that. You can't have this fucking time as a container to be filled mentality then. Latinx people see time as fluid and open-ended. Morning, afternoon, evening, night. This means that they care less about when or how a task is completed as long as it's done well. Polychronic time feels more personal. It's built on a communal idea of building flexible social connections over the rigidity of linear time structures. Bro, you can have flexible social connections while still turning up on time to meet your friend that you said you're going to meet them. Dude, this idea that being a late bed blob freak is actually good for your social life. It's so stupid, man. As long as you have meaningful conversations, the concept of wasting time or productivity doesn't make any sense. What? Time is abundant and fluid.
Okay, that's wonderful.
No, it isn't.
How do I make
Time is not abundant. What are you on about?
It's actually kind of annoying to see this comic as a Hispanic who is extremely diligent about being on time.
Dude, yeah, also, like, I totally get that. You know? It's like, this is the classic bigotry of low expectations. Oh, don't expect fucking Pedro to show up on time. He's going to be polychronic, right? He's not white like us, where we've got rigid time expectations. You know? He's Latino, so he's obviously not going to be on time. What are you on about, dude?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Time is a white construct, Chud. Please refrain from using colonial terms like minutes, good credit score, or dual parent household.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Now, I'm not saying that your uncle should arrive to your kid's baptism 2 hours late. Sorry, I was watching the game. Okay, so they do accept that there's some situations where you do need to be there on time. But the need to make time hyperproductive makes interactions feel impersonal and transactional. Spending time with family feels like a task to be fulfilled, and friend hangouts are marked on Google Calendars like business meetings. So, this is the reasonable point here, is that don't treat friendship interactions like scheduled meetings, right? Arrange to meet up and turn up on time, and then don't have a time limit on how long you're going to spend with your family. Or how long you're going to spend with your friend. That's obviously totally reasonable. But why wrap it up in this totally absurd quasi-race science shit?
Not her point, but I think occasionally taking a polychronic perspective might help some folks deal with anxiety/stress when off the clock.
And also, right? And also, you can do this with your friends as well. You can say like, oh, I'm not sure what time I'm going to be there. It's probably going to be around 6, but I might be a bit late because I've got something else going on. Most of your friends will be like, yeah, fine, just let me know. And then you'll go from there. Do you know what I mean? So this already exists. And I'm sure that all people of all races do this, where you have flexibility of exactly when you're going to meet because you're not 100% sure. So it's like you've wrapped up this, at the end, reasonable point of like, don't schedule meetings with your friends like a business transaction. Fair enough. And all of this stupid like race science trying to justify why Latino people are apparently late all the time. Dude. Yes, this is propaganda produced by Big Lazy. Yes, exactly. Yes, flexibility good, but the race scientification of it is crazy. Exactly. And also, the other thing as well is like, this is a doctor's appointment. You're including a doctor's appointment in this, which you should keep as a monochronic system, because obviously there's lots of people that need to see the doctor. Whereas obviously if it's a one-on-one meeting with your friend, it's a totally different situation. But you should just communicate to them and be, you know, and you should, dude, just the justification here as well of lying. I'm 15 minutes away, lying. Lying and you know, not giving people correct expectations is a bad thing to do. It makes you seem untrustworthy and that, you know, on some level, right? That you're lying about something so trivial. Just say, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm running late, here's where I'm going to be here, or something like that. Just say, just give them a warning. Hey, I didn't realise how long it would take to get here. I'm going to be another 30 minutes according to my app here. You know, I'll get you a drink when I get there, you know, as way of apology. Bosses are anal about time sometimes. Yeah, they can be. One thing I always found frustrating is when you do extra and then your boss would get mad at you because you were like 5 minutes late one day. And it's like, you know, like I understand and I get that I need to be here on time, but with all the extra I do, I don't think it's that big a deal that I'm like 5 minutes late one day. Like, can I have at least a bit of flexibility there that you're not going to be on my ass for being fucking 5 minutes late one day when I spent 30 minutes last night over what I was supposed to. So yeah, it's about give and take, and you want to have, you know, and you don't want to be able to take the piss with it, but it's like once in a while you're a bit late and you do extra, it's like it should be fine. Presuming it's not impacting the workday. Anyway, guys, so it's funny how it's like there is a reasonable point in there somewhere, but it's nothing to do with race. Literally nothing to do with race to say, hey, you know, don't super hardcore schedule time that you should enjoy, you know? Anyway, yes, guys, we'll get into it in a sec. Don't worry. We're going to get into it.